Stratford upon Avon, the land of Shakespeare. Being a bit of a tour guide, as I said. My family are over from Canada, and so I brought them. Oops! I brought them to Stratford upon Avon, and we're just doing a tour guide of one of the oldest lived-in houses from this era. So I don't know if you can see or not. So hello to whomever is watching. I've turned off comments because you all know how good I am with comments, but just thought I'd show a little bit of slice of our English Tudor history. I have actually made a video where we've been given a full history lesson, but this is just something, you know, we take this all for granted because this is in Warwickshire and it's on my doorstep, and then we forget what we've got around us in terms of history. But it's when the kids, like I said, you know, my family are over from Canada, so it is actually really nice to sort of revisit. The last time I came was when my other nephew, oh my God, look at that coffin, look at the size of it, was when my other nephew had come over. He had a layover here from Japan, and yeah, we did a quick tour, and that must have been about 14 years ago. And it's a shame, like I said, because this is on my doorstep, and who doesn't know about Shakespeare? Oh my God, this was really quick. I did it really quickly. I think he's going through every little detail. I've honestly expected that to be about 30 minutes.
Like I said, if I take a school group through and tell
Yeah,
them about
and then you're,
yeah, it takes about 30. Like I said, if you get involved with it, I have people that have been here for 2, 3, 4 hours.
So,
it all depends.
Could you just take me through very briefly again what you said about Shakespeare's house not being Shakespeare's
You're
house?
this to the people up there and upset them, aren't you?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Because
no, absolutely not. No. I think it's a bit of myth busting as well.
Yeah, again, it's
just the basics. You don't have to go into the detail that you went with my nephew.
I mean, history is very subjective for a start.
Absolutely.
And so all we can do is look at the sources we've got, try and cross-reference them, and then make an assumption from that. So I know that Shakespeare came from low middle class, the middling class as it would have been called back then. His father was a tradesman, but I know there was like rumours of him getting into trouble with debt, and he always tried to live above his means. He had aspirations. He was pushing for a coat of arms. So I think at the time Shakespeare was born, he had his first official job with effectively the council of Stratford, and as a beer taster, which was rung on the ladder. But I don't think a man of that kind of income and means would have been able to afford a big house like the birthplace.
The birthplace that we're going to go on to.
And I know they had links outside of town, Forest of Arden, and that way. That's where the bar's wife came from. That's where his grandmother came from. Also, the year he was born, there was plague in Stratford. So I think they would have, even if you had the choice, you would have stayed out of town. So I don't think he was personally. I don't think he was born there. He probably moved here definitely, but it's probably when he was about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
When his dad had started to do better.
Yeah.
And he's young and healthy. Then they could have moved into town. it would have been better.
Yeah.
But it's very, everybody has.
It's like you said, it
There's
is
so many.
subjective,
There is
and
some people don't even believe he wrote the plays. No, it's true.
but there's
because
other conspiracy theories about him
there's
as well.
all
But and that's
sorts.
the
I mean,
norm.
you have all sorts of things. So like
Mm.
the effigy of
Mm.
him in the church.
Mm.
He's holding a bag of
Mm.
money.
Mm.
That's a sign of a merchant. He's not holding a pen, which was a sign
Yeah,
of a writer.
of a writer.
So, and he was known in the town originally as a businessman, not a writer.
Mm.
That happened later because the story goes that he was caught poaching, and he was a young man, just got married and had kids. And his wife was 10 years older.
Oh.
And if you look at the dates,
Mm.
he was forced. It was like a shotgun wedding,
Ah.
effectively, or a crossbow wedding back then. So she was heavily pregnant when they got married, and I think he was just like, I can't, I'm too young for this.
Yeah.
Then he got done for poaching, and he just took it as an excuse to get out of town.
Mm.
Story goes, he fell in with a bunch of travelling players that he'd seen in Stratford. They needed an extra actor, and he joined in with them, and that's what led him down that path.
Because there's the other theory that actually he, there was a ghostwriter for him, and he never wrote any of it. And
I'm kind of half and half. I think he wrote a lot of his work, but I think he was definitely influenced by the people, and he definitely spent a lot of time with other playwrights.
Yeah.
Because it's like they gather around in taverns, and it's like, oh, what are you writing? What are you writing? Oh, I like that bit you did, and they'll kind of like pinch and borrow and inspire each other. And there is a couple of ones which are known to be collaborations. They took so, and some of it was inspired by previous works. He adapted it for the stage from an older book and different stories. So not that many were pure him. I think, but I think that's normal. It's like a songwriter. You write a song, but you can't forget every song you've ever heard up until that point.
Oh no, we all need inspiration from something.
It's inspiration.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a copy.
No.
It's inspired.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's more likely to be the case.
Well,
because you think about it, I mean, nobody has written the human condition better than Shakespeare. It still stands up. Well,
absolutely.
People are people. The same things motivate us now as they've always done. So like love, hate, jealousy, greed. It's all there. Family troubles. Leah. So, and he tried to write for everybody because it wasn't just. I mean, people think Shakespeare was posh, highbrow. No, he wrote for everyone because he wanted to fill a theatre. If he wrote just for the elites, he'd have no income.
No.
So
I've never seen them as elites.
And he would have like the link with Elizabeth because she really popularised the theatre. Up until then, theatre and actors were a very lowbrow, very not really. I mean, some towns wouldn't let actors in at all because they thought they carried diseases and there were low types.
Yeah.
So she really made the theatre popular in the day, and it was the place to be seen. People would actually, the young bloods would pay extra money to actually sit on the stage so that people could see them in all their grandeur. And so not just to watch the play, it's to be seen at the theatre. Because up until then, it was just like, well, bear baiting, bare fist boxing, and then you'd have a play.
Cockfighting.
Yeah, it would have been just like base entertainment.
Yeah.
It still carried on, but it was gentrified. And that's when it started to become acceptable, and it started to have patrons. So, like, posh people would employ a company of actors. That was the first time that really happened, and then it started to get respectable and it started to grow. So, excuse me. So he always appealed to the mass. If you look at a lot of his plays, like Henry V, which are my favourites, you've got several storylines. You have the aristocrats, the international bit, and then you've got a comic characters, a little subplot of Pistol and Bardolph and Falstaff and all their shenanigans. That the groundlings, the people in the cheap seats standing, they could enjoy the slapstick, and then the more intellectual people would understand the history of what was going on in the bigger picture and get enjoyment from that. So it's a balance.
See, I honestly think it appeals to everyone. Right, thank you for that.
No, you have to, because like he said, he was a very successful man. I said there is loads and loads of stories.
Yeah.
Rumours. So yeah, he's got kind of
Fascinating.
I mean, there is my favourite one is the fact he's buried in the Holy Trinity Church. Some people say his head's missing.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's a rumour that somebody stole his skull.
Wow.
And whether or not it was replaced, we don't know. Yeah, there's all sorts.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So that was a very kind gentleman who gave us a short snap of history, and like he said, history is always rather subjective, but yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. So my kid's still in there somewhere, my nephews are in there. I just did a very quick tour, but they're of me.
No.
I was gonna say. Yeah. Yeah. God, yeah.
Thank you.
No, that's fine.
Oh no, I was.
So this is the photo the gentleman was grabbing. I was like, so this is what my nephews are in there doing, looking in detail, you know. So I'll give them the time to do that. I'm not sure what's there, but it's closed off, so I won't go any further. And yeah, it's very quiet today in Stratford, but nonetheless there are tourists. I can hear Americans behind me, and obviously my own Canadian mob are inside as well. In fact, I might go back in and try and find them, hurry him along, because we've got to go to Shakespeare's birthplace, which I think is about a quarter of a mile walking distance from here, but it closes at 4:30. So I don't want them to miss it.
So through your right hand door, it's a one-way circuit. You end up back out here when you're finished.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
I think I might be going back in there to find.
Well, you could, either go in and find him or call him up.
I'm just sort of mindful that we're getting very close to 4:30, and then he'll miss the birthplace, or not the birthplace.
Well, just don't mention it to.
I won't. I wouldn't.
We're a little bit. They're a bit funny. I think they're the be all and end all.
I think people just get precious, and if that's what they believe history is, then
that's it.
That's it.
Like I said,
yeah,
that's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than that.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
it's from what I've read, what I've learned.
Oh, child is here.
That is what.
Yeah.
That is the assumption I've come up with.
Yeah.
Given the evidence I've got, they've come up with a different one. But that's a flame arrow, a fire basket. Yeah, so you roll that in tallow, launch that.
So that's my nephew he's talking to.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm not going to bring my family on the live. And I wish I could, but there are people on YouTube who have made that almost impossible, because, you know, you would have heard earlier. No, actually I videoed that, so you wouldn't have heard it. But my nephew had an absolutely fantastic conversation, because he studied history, but there are people, like I said, who absolutely spoil this whole YouTube experience. But yeah, I might come back live when I go into Shakespeare's birthplace. Just going to face the camera to the floor because I don't want my nephew.
So we had a professional
long warming.
our
Or unit.
archers,
Yeah.
and we could call on them.
Yeah.
That's what made the difference, because then we could have literally hundreds of men.
I love
on a
these
field
barrels.
with
So these barrels, I've got 4 of these barrels in my garden, which are about that big, but they're bigger. And then I use them as planters. So, camera down. Don't want my kid in it.
Genoese crossbow mercenaries.
Yeah.
They didn't have any archers. We just fielded our own bloke.
This is all weird stuff, all this
Because you're fighting for the people.
psychic crap. Don't know what's going on here.
Just,
I mean, if you believe it, great, you believe it, but
rode through their own crossbow.
I'm so done with look at these skulls.
Consider them right, they're not French.
They're the scumbags. Yeah. Oh, did I? We don't have
So the running commentary behind me is hilarious by the guy who runs the museum, right? But it's fascinating nevertheless. So this is William Shreve, Anchor, and possibly Sheriff of Stratford, mentioned in the muster roll of 1536 and the tenancy of 1544. So look at him.
You could actually be like a mercenary band, and then you would hire yourself out to whichever night.
I was thinking of getting my brother midinal
English longbowmen fight for like French lords and stuff, or was it only exclusively for English lords that they could? Okay.
There's the English longbowmen fighting in Italy.
This is good.
France.
these pens, but like I think I videoed this, but this you see this quill. When we were at school, we had to actually sit an exam to be able to prove that we could write with these quill pens. And I'm talking about 70s. And then once we could write with them, then we would be awarded a proper quill pen with like pot of ink. So
your lord called you to arms. You had
So the kings were called.
So there's another lovely commentary. So
and so everybody has to provide a certain amount.
The troops, yeah.
So that's where you get
There's
the
a
word,
commitment,
that's where
yeah.
you get the word freelance comes from.
Yeah.
A lance is a military unit. So it's not just the knight. You get the knight, but the lance is him. He's mounted men at arms who are basically knights but without the title. He'd have to provide 6 mounted archers. He'd have to provide baggage train. He'd have to provide squires. And so that unit is a lance. So a freelance is somebody who has that little unit and will go and work for anybody else. And we still use the word freelance today. So that's where it comes from. Because a knight on his own is vulnerable. He needs backup. It's like a tank. A tank in the battlefield is awesome. But if you haven't got the infantry to protect him, you can get in and you can ruin the day. So that's the way it works. So it makes a big difference.
Very interesting.
And it was the fact we had a military, professional military, effectively. We had skilled, trained men.
And chain of command properly,
yeah. That made a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
That's what allowed us to punch above our weight.
Oh, yeah.
Internationally.
Yeah.
So the longbow's a fearsome weapon, but it takes a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I can use it. I can draw a 150-pound warbow.
Yeah. Really?
It takes it out
Wow.
of here.
I was going to say.
I've been shooting since I was 16.
Okay.
And I'm a big guy, and I can just about.
Those arrows can punch through metal, man. Like they're.
Yeah, they can do.
Yeah. That's why
it
they're
depends
so
on the
hard to
quality of the bow, the quality of the arrow, and the quality of the armor, and also where you hit it.
Yeah.
Because you look at the helms and then the glancing surfaces. So if you don't,
You would want a dead center, right?
No, you don't actually, because that's where the thickest part is. So the armor's thickest here, and then it gets thinner as it goes around, and they've got joins on the sides. So what you want to do is have. So that's the French. You want to have archers there, archers there.
That's the French.
And you want your knights there, your man at arms, your dismounted
In the middle,
knights.
yeah.
And so as they come in, they hit that and stop, and then you on the henches, the flanks, enfilade the fire.
Yeah.
So you hit them from the side.
Yeah.
You can also, as they're coming in, you can fire up to 300 yards. It's plunging fire. It's not got power, but it'll bugger a horse up, and it'll make them. They'll jump. they'll rear, they'll charge off
Yeah,
it on an angle,
on an
and
angle,
it will disrupt the charge because the strength of a cavalry charge is unity.
Yeah.
One man on his own is vulnerable.
Yeah.
A wall of force,
Mm.
you've got no chance.
Yeah.
So you break up the charge. When it comes in, hits our men, then you enfilade the sides.
Yeah.
Once you run out of arrows, it's hand to hand. Because they weren't just archers; they were skilled.
So the
combat
dragoons,
soldiers.
they would be like shock cavalry.
Do you like a
Dragoon
teapot?
is a later
What a
period.
lovely
They came
teapot.
later, yeah. But they were shock cavalry, right? Or were they?
Yeah.
Then I've got a
heavy.
cupboard full of like souvenir
And
The
teapots.
whole idea would be just get the shock charge and then.
Yeah, because once you got that mass
Compass.
movement, it's hard to stop.
Mhm.
I mean, even if you and the horse are dead, there's still two
When did the
tons
dragoons come in?
Oh, look.
gunpowder, basically. Because the dragoon was
Beautiful.
a
Beautiful.
heavy
Watch.
cavalry
Wow.
/ mounted infantry.
Absolutely
So they
stunning.
mountain.
So you can fight on foot or on foot. So the dragoons are different.
Ah, pata nahi kiya.
Because you have.
I'm saying that because I can't see.
And you've got hussars.
Oh,
Mhm.
what's that remind you of?
And so you've got, they do like the reconnaissance, bit
Yep.
of skirmishing. But when you
Who's
got,
that remind you
when
of?
bring the enemy to bear, that's when the dragoons because they'll hit with a hard infantry. They can break infantry. Once the infantry are scattered, then the hussars can chase them and do damage.
So there is still
That's the way you
a history lesson going on
they will
there.
chase, and that's when
And I'm not going to hurry it along because, like
the
Matt
swords
said,
and things like that.
kids are enjoying it.
Hussars have a
It's
light
interactive.
saber, whereas a lot of dragoons will have a heavier sword, generally straighter.
Yeah. I've seen one of them.
Want to do a ghost tour or a trail tour?
Yeah.
Because
मैंने कहा
that is
मैं डरती
getting
हूँ.
on a lot further in time, so you're looking at something like the Virgin and the
I think maybe we might be a bit late for Shakespeare's birthplace, which may not be his birthplace. Who's to know? Oh,
Game the heights and they had the
I would have ended up in someone else's video, and I don't really want that.
Yeah.
But
they broke the Ottoman line.
I don't know what all of this malarkey's got to do with Shakespeare. Who's that remind you of? I've turned comments off so you can't reply.
They had such amazing armor.
Oh, I don't know what this is.
The wings,
on the back.
I've got a couple of these at home, but big ones.
Too. They
Big
reckon
ones.
the-
What's in
the
here?
noise, the wind,
All
the whistle,
stones, bag of
the
crystals.
rattles,
अब बर्थडे च देखिए खोल के किया because I'm nosy.
Seeing that charging after.
Oh, yeah.
This, I told you, this is reminding me
I
of
know it's like standing up to
weird. This is all.
Imagine that when you've got, like, some 15 stone guys
Yeah, I like
with the
this.
armor wearing
And they had
it.
special
I
horses
love
that were
that.
proper like war horses. Like
Yeah.
Massive. What breed of
Not
horse
so
is
sure
it?
about that though.
It depends on
This,
the history of the way.
that. Oh my god.
So,
Who's that remind you of?
So were those horses
Come and ask you in the
native
evening
to England, or were they
when-
like brought in?
If Richard comes live,
you've got
that'll be a question. Think about it before the live starts this evening.
Broader, yeah.
I'll try and take a photo and then I'll put it on the screen, and then you've got to tell me who it reminds you of. Acha. Mother Nature, that's really nice, isn't it?
Domestic and inter-
Ah, Sonia. But then it would be, it's Mother Nature, na?
It's not just that, it's the temperament.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because they
Aye.
were-
आप पता नहीं बिल्लियाँ हैं
predominantly right
आ तो बिल्ली लगदी है आ की है आ कुत्ता है मैनू तो दसदा मैनू आ कुत्ता लगदा है
one night.
Hmm.
A duel.
So who does this, all this section, who does it remind you of? I bet you're thinking, oh, comment section off कर दिया नहीं तो हम तो इसको comment करके बताते कि कौन है. चलो, I'm going to walk towards the street because this conversation's still going on. I've got to look at the time. What's the time? हाय एक घंटा रह गया जो ना बंद हो गया. A मुंडा can't see, then he'll be like, but Boogie, we wanted to see birthplace. ਹੁਣ ਦਾਦਾ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਖਤਮ ਕਰੋ है ना. they कहना बूजी आ दे मैं निकला गड्डी लेके रास्ते में एक मोड़ आया. This is what this reminds me of. This pump, look, hand pump. Proper Punjabi jatala pump this. Build your muscles. चल फिर मैं हुण बंद ही करदी हाँ. मेरे काकियां ने नहीं हटना. ओके फिर मिलते हैं बाद च. चंगा. ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬੰਦ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਾਂ? ਓਕੇ ਚੰਗਾ ਬਾਏ.